Hey there, comic book fans. I am back from the shop this week. Boy, I feel like I've been running around forever. I had to stop at the art store before I went to the shop, so had an extra trip. But anyway, I only got 5 comics this week. One of them was this, Thief of Thieves, which was supposed to come in last week, but shop got shorted on. So here we go. I guess that's some sort of cover symbolic of him failing to get money, but there's gold. I don't know. I can't even remember where to leave this off. I don't know. He was in the middle of some scam, thief. I can't. Boy, wow. Oh, that's right. This was I was racking my brain. He's trying to steal some computer program from some Russian oligarch warlord or something. That's what this some rich billionaires tried to hire the world's 3 greatest thieves to steal this computer virus that's meant to collapse the world's economic system. So he's involved in that, though. He refused to be hired by the billionaires, but he's still trying to steal the thing. So Thief of Thieves, number 37. Always good. And now we've got the always steady Walking Dead 161, The Whisperer War, part 5 of 6. Guess we're getting close to the wrap-up of this one. The Whisperers have attacked, not Alexandria, but the Hilltop, is it called? I sometimes don't pay attention to the details in The Walking Dead. But I think the Whisperers have attacked the Hilltop now. Alexandria is still safe, so there's a big fight. Guess that's all the human beings fleeing the fight, because I think the Whisperers were using fire arrows out of nowhere at the town, which seemed way more effective than fire arrows should be. But anyway, it's been a pretty good story, despite some questionable military tactics in the Whisperer War. It's The Walking Dead. What more do we need to say? There's 161 issues of it to check out. And now we've got Revival, number 45. We're really coming close to the end now. It's only going to 48. Am I supposed to know who this is? I don't know. She's got some sort of octopus jacket. Well, I don't remember a character with an eye patch and a shaved head. Oh, man. Talk about not paying attention to the details, unless she's someone new. That Amish assassin lady had there's all the spirits. Had a daughter. Is she the daughter? I don't remember her having an eye patch and a... Hey, there she is. Eye patch, gun. I guess I'll find out. But Revival's been a solid, once again, a solid series. Geez, I've been buying it for 45 issues, so I must like it. But like the whole thing's coming to a head. We found out. Last issue, there was the really big reveal where we found out what the hell's been going on, where all these ghosts and why people can't die and stuff like that. That happened in issue 44, so now I guess we'll have the climax of what happens to the people. But you should check out Revival. It's been fun. And here we have Savage Dragon number 218, which I'm not even going to open. Only because I think I may have read a spoiler on the internet where this is the Savage Dragon's wife and newly mother of his children. And I'm not sure, but from some tweet I read, she may have died in this issue. I don't know, or something else may have happened. I just read that one tweet and went, is that what happened? Because, they showed this cover along with the tweet. So I really don't know what happened, but I don't even want to open it up and spoil it for myself in case she does die, or if someone else dies, or because people live and die. Savage Dragon this is actually the original Savage Dragon's son. This is Malcolm Dragon. It takes place in real time. So, when did it launch? 1992. So 24 years have passed in the Savage Dragon timeline. So new people are created, other people die, some people live, we get different versions of characters, and it's all fun stuff. If you like superhero books, you should really check out The Savage Dragon. And now we have the Wiccan the Divine, issue number 24. And I gotta tell you, I did not read the Wiccan the Divine number 23. It's been sitting around for a month. It's not it's an issue that they decided to do like a magazine, so it's not a comic book. It's got illustrations and magazine art. I think I only made it. I'm telling you, I kept opening it up and going, you know what? If I want to read a magazine, I've got magazines to read. So it's just been sitting in my to be. It's the only thing in my to be read pile. It's been sitting there for a month now. Heck, maybe there's even some comic in the back of it. I'll have to check because I only got through the first 3 or 4 pages and I got bored every time with it. Doing a comic book as if it were a magazine just didn't interest me in the least. So I'm glad it's back to being a comic book. The Wiccan The Divine, issue number 24. All right, next I wanted to show you this because I've showed this before. My friend Greg Schiegel did this Picks One Weirdest Weekend graphic novel a couple of years ago. He's got a new one. He's got a volume 2 of it coming out next year. But I had just read, and he sends out a newsletter too. You can sign up for his newsletter if you want information. But he just said in this latest newsletter that this is going to be reprinted through Image. And lo and behold, in last issue of Image Plus, we had you can read a preview. I didn't realize this was it. Picks One Weirdest Weekend. It's the preview is from this one because Image is reprinting that book. So you can read a preview of it, and there's a little interview with Greg with some thumbnails and stuff. I didn't know this was coming out in the last week's issue of Image Plus. I was like, oh, look at that! Surprised to see it. So I just wanted to let you know. I'm actually ordering the Image version. I think it's only about $10. The Image version, volume 1 of this. This was Greg's self-published one by Hatter Entertainment, which is his own company. But like I said, there'll be a new version of this, plus a volume 2 out if you're interested. Pick up Image Plus, issue number 8, and check it out. And the final thing I got this week was a fanzine called Ditko Mania, issue number 95. There's a group on Facebook named Ditko Mania that I've been in and peruse every now and then. And I think the guy he's either in the group or he runs the group, I don't know, is this guy Rob Imes. And he's been putting out this Ditko fanzine, which I've never read before this issue, for years now. It's on issue 95. So I got this right off of eBay, buy it now. I think it was $4 post-paid. So I was like, you know what, I want to check this out finally. And this is the philosophy issue. It's kind of interesting. I read almost all of it except for the letters. You have an editorial by Rob. Nice little Ditko editorial. And then the art, look, this is all about the philosophy. So we have Against the Grain, a Mr. A review. It's not really a review of Mr. A, he says, so much as a kind of overview of Mr. A. And he gives some of Ditko's philosophy in Mr. A. Then we get, this was interesting, it's Let's Talk Politics by Robin Schroeder. It was, somebody asked him if he could write an article about, and what is that called? Ayn Rand objection, what is her objection is? All of a sudden I can't remember what she, but what the Ayn Rand philosophy is, objectivism, the philosophy. Somebody asked him if he could write an article about who would be a good objectivist candidate for president, and he basically said there'd be no such thing. But he went, he broke down, Ayn Rand objectionist philosophy and what would that mean in a presidential candidate, and could someone fulfill it, and how it relates to Ditko. So it was all kind of interesting stuff. They give us some little examples of Ditko comics. And then what was the next article here? Was this all the same? Was that all that one? Then we got the next article was... This is all about Ditko's philosophy. This thinking, feeling, and the power of comics. And this was about Ditko's philosophy coming through in his comics, and how other cartoonists responded to that philosophy. There was some stuff I didn't realize this. The Hangman in I remember reading this as a kid in Werewolf by Night. I forget who they said the writer was. He the Hangman was kind of like an answer to Ditko's objectivist philosophy and stuff like that. And there's other Marvel comics and other comics that have to do, like Ayn Rand appeared in Mystery Men #2 by Marvel. I was like, oh, interesting. So that was a whole interesting article about Ditko's philosophy and how other cartoon. Oh, and then there was I know this. I'm very familiar with this one. Peter Baggs, the Megalomaniacal Spider-Man from 2002, which is really good. Good comic. Is about what if Peter Parker was, as Ditko is, an objectivist. And then we have another, the last another article on Ditko and Ditko's philosophy as that comes through in his writings and work and how it differs from Ayn Rand. And I haven't gotten to the letters yet, but there's a letter section here. Oh, and that last one also compared like Dave Sim's philosophy with Steve Ditko. And like I said, this one is all about the philosophy issue. So it's all about philosophy and how it comes through in Ditko's work. And I got to say, I liked it a lot. I'm going to have to track down some more of these Ditko Mania fanzines. It was good stuff. So, go to the Ditko Mania group on Facebook or check it out on eBay or something and get yourself a nice little read. We'll show you some artwork. I think I showed you these two in the back. I don't really remember. It's all a blur. But I just finished this one. So I figured I'd show that. The Acid Ram, issue number 9. This is one of those I worked on and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I think it's okay. Sometimes it's like I finish something and I go, what is that? Hey, you don't fall over. Everything's falling over. Let's put that back. Like I said, sometimes I finish something and I'm like, what is that? What did I just do? I'm not sure. Usually, I don't usually feel like that, but every now and then I do, and I have to let it sit around for a while and try to figure out what it is and what I've done and if I like it or not. And the Acid Ram number 9 is one of those. I'm not quite sure what I think about it, but I'll show it off anyway. You guys can think your own thing about it. And everyone have a good week out there.